I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40, 50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment to get that to some sort of normality. And we're seeing it. I think every employer now is seeing it. I mean, there is definitely massive layoffs going off. People might not be talking about it, but people are definitely laying people off, and we're starting to see less arrogance in the employment market, and that has to continue because that will cascade across the cost balance.
Okay, so I wanted to show that because it absolutely disgusts me what this disgusting CEO is saying. Like I said, they are so arrogant, they are so full of themselves, and this is what they think of the regular people, of the workers, the ones who make all of this happen. They believe because they have so many zeros in their bank account, they are a founder CEO, which they started the company with their parents' money, and their parents were rich to begin with. They are not self-made. They didn't start from the bottom and become this big millionaire and billionaire. And they didn't become a billionaire by being innovatives. They are stealing workers' wages, underpaying workers. So they're stealing workers' money. They really don't want to pay you. They want you to be a slave. They want you to come there, look at them, be amazed, work for them for free, and go home and be inspired, basically. That's what they want. But yeah, I am shocked that someone blatantly and arrogantly set their flat, feckless ass up here to tell people who are trying to survive right now, whereby this inflation, everything that is going on is not their fault. It is the fault of these greedy, dumb, insidious, wealthy people. They cannot have a moment without thinking about how to snatch a dollar from someone. They are so corroded in the mind that they think the poor are poor because they want to be poor, because they don't have skills, because they don't have hard work ethic, because they're not putting enough energy in to see growth and sustain themselves, and all of that, as if the system has not been rigged against the majority of the people to keep them where they at. So only a few can hold the majority of resources and money, and the majority can be left to twist out in the wind. They are trying to pretend like there isn't a caste system. See, it was funny when it was melanated people, but now it's not so funny when it's colorless people who are included in this and been in it for a while. And for whatever reason, they don't want to let it go to face reality because they'll be knocked out of their cognitive dissonance that somebody who looks like them, like Tim, looks down on them even though they have the same skin and share the same history. As if he's better than them and he wouldn't want them near him, and he looks down his nose on them. They don't want to deal with that because this is where it's all come to. They want to recognize this when it's way too late, and these people have way too much power, and these people have Democratic and Republican politicians in each pocket. He had the nerve to sit up here and say, and I have heard so many CEOs give these speeches, and I know you have too, that they're doing everything they can to save your job, and a lot of people are laying people off because they only care about the bottom line, telling you that you need to be grateful and happy that you have a job, and basically you need to stop asking for a raise, you need to stop asking for compensation, you need to stop, and you just need to be grateful, and you need to grind to make them wealthier. And you wonder why they call greed a deadly sin. It is sucking the life out of people. People do not want to do this anymore. If the Great Resignation was not a sign that people are over the BS, people have been working for generations, their whole lives, and they end up with nothing. And we see it all the time. We see people who should be retired They should be retired and they're still working. That shouldn't even be the case because of greed. And he said unemployment should be 40 to 50%. You know what I say? Oh well. Oh well. Let it happen. Keep pushing. Keep doing that. Because some of these companies feel like, they are ironclad. Nothing's going to happen to them. Who the F is going to buy their products? Who is going to? Because it's not other rich people. They're deluded in the mind. I mean, like I said, if the billionaires who went into the submarine with an Atari controller does not tell you how delusional and stupid that they are, I don't know what will. The fact that they think they can have half of this country or half of the people in the world without a job, which is going to make them grateful, is what he said. You should be grateful for the peanuts and the crumbs that he accidentally pushes off the table for you. Then my question has always been, since this is a capitalistic system, and if people don't have extra money to be going out to eat, to be buying, to continue to buy stuff that they need on a day-to-day basis, if the big companies want to eat up the little companies, and these little companies are the ones who always is ordering inventory, what do you think is going to happen to the country and your system? See, they think that they have everything planned out well. They think they have stuff stored away. They think they will be able to survive. Nobody will be able to get to them. Nothing can get to them, and they'll be okay. They are mistaken. It's always the little things that they forget about that ends up effing them over. And if that wasn't a warning with that submarine to these millionaires and billionaires who are trying to unfold their plans and give the middle finger to all the 99%, the rest of us, do they not see that as a bad omen? I mean, when you think you're a god, when you think you're a pharaoh, when you think you're so above everyone else, I guess you could, because they ended up never to be on this earth again. So if that's what happened to them in their foolishness, what do you think is going to happen to these types in their foolishness and their plans? I mean, just listening to him made my brain hurt. It's like a child having a temper tantrum. Why don't you want to work for $2 an hour? That's enough. Make it work. McDonald's, Walmart, and all the other fast food places and all of these big box stores, their employees qualify for food stamps and Medicaid, and that's benefits. You have to qualify for it. They are underneath that poverty line. They are working and they qualify. I worked in the sector. I put their income in. I put everyone who worked in the house income in, and they still qualified for it. These are the people who are okay with that. You hold on to your dollars as tightly as you can. A lot of these people would not be so emboldened to be saying things like this. Talking about you need to get your A up and you need to forget about remote working because that helped us in that time. But I want you in the office for what? I have no idea. To stare at you. And just to let you know something else, they're lying their A off when they say that people are quiet quitting and production is not at where it was. People who work from home work harder and longer hours too. So they're lying to you on that. And the reason why they may not be seeing money is because people don't have the money to spend like they used to. So now they're seeing it at the bottom line, and in their stupidity, they're sitting up here saying, oh, we're going to blame the workers that we have. They're not doing enough. No, you idiot. People do not make enough. And it's going to get worse because this inflation hasn't gone away yet. And people are literally hanging on with credit cards. And they want to start up the student loan payments again. This is insanity. They are insane, and they are in for a rude awakening. But I wanted to share this with you because I thought it was absolutely disgusting for him to sit up here and say that we, as the people, we should be grateful to have a CEO that has a company that's siphoning all the money to himself and his shareholders and his good friends that he has put in place as COO and CFO, his buddies that do not have the education or experience. And you should be grateful that they exist. They are the reason why you have what you have and your life is the way it is. The effing nerve and audacity. The only thing that I can say is until people get over their personal biases and they work together, if you work together, you could show these people who should be grateful for who. But until then, this is what you're going to get. But I'll go ahead and end it right here. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment, and I will see you in the next one.